Good evening and welcome to the English news from the Sultanate Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty issues royal directives to form a subcommittee to deal with the economic impacts resulted from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signs an agreement on developing a marine fishing port in the Wilaya of Dabba at the cost of 40 million Omani riyals. The Minister of Health reports 1,404 new COVID-19 cases and 924 recoveries. And the Sultan moves towards the recovery stage to live with COVID-19 pandemic while adhering to the precautionary measures. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. A statement was issued by the private office as follows. Within the economic impacts locally and globally resulted from the spread of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq gave his royal directives to form a subcommittee affiliated to the Supreme Committee concerned with dealing with the COVID-19 developments, headed by His Excellency the Minister of Interior and the Chairman of the Supreme Committee. The subcommittee shall deal with economic effects resulted from the pandemic by setting up an appropriate mechanism to ensure a speedy return of the economic activities to achieve an accelerated economic growth. The Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signed an agreement today for the implementation of the project of developing marine fishing port in the Wilayah of Dabba in the Governorate of Musandam. More details in the following report.
Within the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq to implement developmental projects with a cost of 300 million Oman riyals in various wilayas in the Sultanate, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signed an agreement for developing the fishing port in the Wilayah of Dabba in Musandam Governorate at a cost of 40 million Omani riyals.
Today we signed the contract with the company which develop and construct Dabba port. Fishing port is very important port for Musandam Governorate because the amount of landing is increasing in the last few years, plus also the number of fishermen increasing. By the development and the construction of the new development, it will add value to the port in Dabba by connecting the port in Dabba by other ports within Oman and also within other neighboring countries. Also there's part which is related to tourism. There's like 570 meter area which is allocated for tourism, and this will increase the number of cruises which can enter to Dabba port.
The project involves 4 basic components aimed at serving Oman's fisheries sector, providing facilitations for the commercial and logistics sectors and Royal Oman Police, in addition to several service facilities at the fishing port, including 2 2,000-meter wave breakers equipped with marine lighting at the entrance and a 10-meter deep dock.
This port is actually the only economic, and it is the breathing lung of Dabba. It is where the people live from that port. Their connection with the world and with the rest of the country is through that port. This project is going to transform the whole Dabba town, our part. It's going to be, it will offer lots of services for the tourism industry, of course for the fishing and the fishermen, and canning and workshops and facilities for them.
Dabba Fishing Port Development Project comes as part of the government's economic diversification strategy, and it is aimed at developing the Sultanate's fishing ports and transform them into investment attractive destinations. Saleh Mukhalfan al-Rahbi, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Minister of Health announced 1,404 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 23,481, including 104 deaths. The Minister of Health stresses that 8,454 cases have been recovered.
Within the efforts to limit the spread of COVID-19, the ministry advises all citizens and residents to keep on washing hands with water and soap. Avoid touching the face, nose, mouth and eyes. Follow hygienic habits when coughing and sneezing. Adhere strictly to social distancing instructions. Stay at home and not to go out unless absolutely necessary. Adhering to isolation and social distancing will prevent you, your family, and the community from COVID-19. Stay safe.
The Sultanate heads towards the recovery stage from the COVID-19 pandemic and adapt to live with these developments as the efforts are being exerted to achieve this goal to return back to normal. The individuals are gradually returning back to their daily activities while adhering to the precautionary measures approved by the COVID-19 Supreme Committee, especially after the announcement of the third package of the economic activities which are to be opened. The procedures include the following instructions. Organizing the entry of consumers to the market, keeping 2 meters distance between individuals, sanitization of trolleys, other surfaces, as well as providing sanitizers for the consumers. The consumers should also adhere to the following: to shop individually for the whole family while wearing face masks and sanitizing hands, avoid shopping during the peak period, which is usually from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., using available online shopping applications as much as possible. Meanwhile, the number of recoveries of COVID-19 patients monitored by the Ministry of Health shows an increase coinciding with the global recovery that are nearly 1 million cases. To come a news bulletin. Recent heavy rains helped the Wadi Al-A'la village in the Wilaya of Bahla to come back to life after 3 years of drought.
Non-compliance with the directives of the Supreme Committee dealing with coronavirus COVID-19 exposes you to risk and legal action. Stay safe.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The total value of the real estate trading reached about 85 million Omani Riyals last May. The Minister of Housing said that the collected fees reached more than 4 million Omani Riyals, pointing out that the total real estate activities exceeded 10,000 to the same month, which included purchasing, grants, exchange, foreclosure, division, usufruct, in addition to visas. The insured sales value for Credit Oman recorded an increase of around 6% during the first quarter of the current year. So the sales value reached to more than 23 million Omani Riyals at the same period in 2019, which was around 22 million Omani Riyals. The insured sales value for the exports from the Sultanate to the world countries reached around 18 million Omani Riyals at the first quarter of this year, while insured local sales value inside the Sultanate recorded more than 5 million Omani Riyals. Wadi Al-A'la village in the Wilaya of Bahla in the Governorate of Dakhiliya witnessed heavy rains recently, which has helped to improve agriculture and increase production of the crops. More details in the following report.
After 3 lean years, Al-Wadi Al-A'la village in the wilaya of Bahla received a decent amount of rain, making the land full of greenery. The people here rejoiced, as abundant water means a lot to them.
Our village suffered from drought for 3 years or more, and this has happened for the first time. After 3 years, it rained and we felt happy because the amount of water has increased. I haven't seen such a drought in the 80 years of my life. Praise be to Allah, the land has become fertile again and we are able to irrigate the trees.
After the rain, the land has gained its fertility, and thus the villagers start their agricultural activities, particularly growing different kinds of crops such as wheat, corn, and garlic.
About 95% of the land in the village is cultivated. We grow wheat, corn, garlic, onions, mangoes, and grapes. We are living on agriculture, like date palm trees and lemon trees, and we sell the products in nearby market in Bahla and Al-Hamra.
Amid these shaded oases, water plays a melodious symphony as it flows in the village on its way to irrigate the date palm trees and the fruit trees, portraying a beautiful scene at this village which is located at the foot of Al-Kur mountain. Indeed, water is life. It brings joy and a sense of livelihood for every living creature. صالح بن خلفان الرحبي ولاية of Bahla الداخلية Governorate.
You're watching the Sounds of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty issues royal directives to form a subcommittee to deal with the economic impacts resulted from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signs an agreement on developing a marine fishing port in the wilaya of Daba at the cost of 40 million Omani riyals. The Minister of Health reports 1,404 new COVID-19 cases and 924 recoveries. And the Sultanate moves towards recovery stage to live with the COVID-19 pandemic while adhering to the precautionary measures. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom in the studios, good night.